Hello, Scorpio women, and welcome to your reading. We are here to find out what it is that God wants to tell you. So, Most High God, if there's anybody trying to interfere with this reading, please block them so we can receive the messages that you brought us here to receive. Do step in and deliver your messages to we, your children. Thank you. Okay, so your message, Scorpio women, we've got grandmother, and we have menopause. Okay, is that talking about actual menopause? We're gonna find out. Let's see. But grandmother in this deck is usually talking about like a high valued woman. It doesn't mean that you're like financially rich, but it means that you're rich in character. Okay, you are caring, you're kind, you're responsible, you're wise. You know, you're an asset. You should be getting paid for your wisdom. You should be getting paid for your assistance. But you know how society is. They just give you like a thank you. But God will pay you. Okay? But anywho, let's really dig into it here and see what it is that God is trying to say to you with these two cards. Menopause usually comes through as just pause in these readings, but it could be actually talking about the inability to have children because of something going on with the womb. Because me personally, I don't believe in menopause. I don't believe that it's a natural thing. Because if you take care of yourself, then there's no reason that you should lose yourself. Okay? The food is your medicine and your medicine is your food. If you have a car, an old car, and you take care of it, it'll be running even now. So I think menopause is either sabotage, because we live in a society where the people that run the society, they put money over everything. So maybe that's one way of causing women to have difficulties with their womb, so that they come and spend money in the medical system. This is what we live around. I could be wrong with that, but I could be very right also. Or it is just the fact that all of the necessary nutrients and the necessary nutrients to conduct the necessary mechanisms for reproduction has run low, and we don't know how to replenish it. So that causes what we have been taught to call menopause. Okay, so I feel like menopause is just either a lack of self-care or sabotage. It's not natural. Okay, so let's see. So the underlying issue we got here is we got teach and expect a miracle. Grandmother and menopause. Okay, let's read on. We got tantric sex on next level access. I will interpret the cards afterwards, so don't let the words on the cards scare you or confuse you. We got enemies. We got transsexual or tranny. We got sex. Secret admirer. Guardian. Insurance. Self-taught. Needing. Partner up. Oh God, we got fucking. Warmongering. I'm sorry if my language offends you. Unrestrained indulgence. Reciprocate their love. Be on your own. We got family. We got infidelity. Friends. Police. Addiction. Be the version of you that you want to be. Nationwide. So being unapologetically you. Yeah, your true current purpose. We got sick. Meditation. Give the sick something to think about. Yeah, about caring. Caring for self. So exactly how I started off this reading could be exactly what God is saying. Okay? So let's dig into this underlying issue and make sense of all these words. So the underlying issue is teaching and expecting a miracle. Okay? So tantric sex and then enemies. So tantric sex card says next level access. So this is talking about not actual sex, but it's talking about communication and interaction with the public nationwide. Okay? It's saying that kind of communication, whatever you're teaching, is bringing you enemies. Okay? Because it's next level information, and that brings enemies. Okay? So those who have a vested interest in hiding the truth, they will naturally be your enemies if you're one who reveals the truth through your teachings. Okay? So we got transsexual and sex. So transsexual and sex. So this is like the impartation of the information. It gives you secret admirers, and then we have guardian. So what you're teaching is making some people hate your guts, but it's also making people behind the scenes protect you. So your enemies might be a bit louder than your supporters. So just know that whatever you're teaching, okay, it's bringing you enemies, but it's bringing you supporters. So don't ever think that people are not happy to see you taking this risk in teaching these things, because your enemies will be louder than your supporters in your case. But just know that a lot of people have your back behind the scenes. They may not come right out and tell you, because whatever you're teaching is absolutely taboo, or it's not popular opinion. But it's good to see someone who is courageous enough to speak this out to the nation. Okay, and people behind the scenes, they will secretly protect you. You got secret admirer, guardian, insurance. Okay, so they're like, you can count on us to protect you in any way that we can. Okay, so we got self-taught, needing, partner up. Then we got fucking and warmongering. So the things that you're teaching is things that you have learned yourself. You've learned these things from what life has taught you. But it's like there's people around you who are making you believe, or maybe yourself might be thinking, that you need to partner up with other people. Okay, and the sex and the fucking card, they're basically the same thing. It's that transfer of energy. Okay, so it's talking about the teaching. But if you partner up with anybody, you're gonna be warring with them, you're gonna be fighting with them. Okay, so if you feel like you need to partner up with anyone, God is saying don't even think about it, because you're only going to open up the door for people to start convoluting your message. Okay, watering down your message. So even if you don't get paid for this right now, it's better that you keep on investing by keeping yourself independent, so that way you can speak the truth in an unbridled way, because it's better for the truth to come out, and then any pay that you're not getting now, you will get it in the future, because there are people who appreciate your contributions to the world around you in speaking these truths that gain you so many enemies. So you may not get paid for it right now, but don't let that deter you, and don't let that make you feel like you have to partner up with someone so that you can get money for your knowledge. It's better that you maintain your independence. So be an independent artist, so to speak. That way you maintain complete creative control over the information that you're sharing. Okay? Because the way for us to heal is through the revelation of truth. If we don't know the truth, then we will never gain understanding. And if we don't have any understanding, we cannot make any positive changes in our life. So what you're doing is very important, and you need to stay independent of other people's opinions. Do not allow anybody to come in, neither behind the scenes or in front of the public, okay, to mix up your message. Stay by yourself. That's what I'm getting there. Because if you partner up with anybody when it comes to this, there's going to be pushback. There's going to be, there's a word that starts with C that I'm looking for. Confusion. There we go. Okay, because of unrestrained indulgence. Reciprocate their love, be on your own. Okay, that's where that comes in. It's better to be on your own, straight up. And this unrestrained indulgence could talk about you. By being on your own, you get to express yourself without interference. There's no interference. Okay? And then we got family, infidelity. So partnering up with anybody is going to cause problems. We got friends, police. So God basically repeated what God said. Okay? So if you're looking for someone to partner up with, just know it's going to cause problems. So friends, police, addiction, be the version of you that you want to be. So yeah, so these now, God is telling you again about the people who secretly admire you and are going to be guardians over you secretly. These are your friends. They're here to police the situation because they're addicted to you being the version of you that you want to be nationwide. So these people are behind the scenes, seeing to it that you get heard, seeing to it that you are protected. Okay? Your true current purpose is allowing the sick to meditate on the caring of themselves and each other. Okay? So the teachings that you bring to the world is actually helping the world to heal. All right? Because you give people things to think about. All right? Things that are so, it's like it's right there in their face, but because they've never taken the time to think about it on their own, because we tend to just accept anything that this society teaches us. Okay? We go to school, or we go to the doctors, or we go to work, or whatever they teach us, wherever we go, it's like we hardly ever question. We just accept what they're saying and we keep it pushing, governing ourselves by these thoughts and these concepts, these ideologies, okay, that do not hold weight in reality. So if we took the time to really think about the things that we've been taught throughout our lifetime here on the earth, in our respective societies, we'll see that some of it is a bunch of bollocks. Okay? It's just a pile of shit. And it does not serve us well because it's not the truth. And if you're living a life where lies are the governing concepts of yourself, then you will always be going in circles. You will always be losing. You will always be confused. You will always be disappointed. It's just bad for your mental and physical health. And it's also bad for your relationship with God too, because it's like a lot of people question God, like, what kind of life is this? We're born, okay? We get sent to school. We spend all this time in school. God knows how many years doing school. Most of our hours are spent in school. The other major portion is spent sleeping, and then the little portion is spent doing whatever we want to do with ourselves. So they take up all of our time and our attention. Then when we done that, we have to go to college. Okay? That's another dedication of our time that we don't get to think about the things we want to think about, do the things that we want to do, because while we're in college, while we're in school, we have to think about what they're telling us to think about. We have to do what they're telling us to do. And then after that, if you want to go on to university, is the same shit. And not to mention the amount of money you have to spend to get this education. Then you come out and you're supposed to get a job, which in most cases, people don't get jobs that can pay them the amount of money according to their level of education. So what I'm saying all this to say is the way that they've set the society, and I'm not even done. Wait, let me continue. So after you find a job, then if you do find a job, you work at this job for all of your young life, your naturally young life, because beyond a certain point, you have to make yourself young by making good lifestyle choices. But from birth to maybe about 40 years old, we are naturally young, where everything looks good if you take care of yourself up to that point. But beyond that point, things start to diminish, and it's up to us to understand what we should be doing to our bodies and our minds to keep them functional and youthful. Okay, so after we spend all this time working at these jobs and whatnot, that these are all of our natural young years, and then once that is done, we go into retirement, and then once that is done, we go to our grave. We die. It's like, what kind of life is this? What kind of God makes this the cycle of life? So it damages our relationship with the Creator because we are being fed lies. That is not the cycle of life. That is the cycle of life that this society has decided upon and has decided to teach us, has decided to perpetuate. It's not the actual cycle of life. Okay? It's a bunch of lies. So it's for us to recognize where the lies are by looking around society and comparing our reality with the reality of people from other sectors or regions of the world. Pay attention to their lives, their lifestyle beliefs, and their lifestyle practices. Okay? You will find that the rules, they'll shift your reality, and you may come back from wherever you go adapting some of their ways of thinking and their ways of being because it makes more sense. Okay? Life is meant to be eternal. We're not meant to die. We're not meant to grow old. These things are not natural. We've been taught to die. We've been taught to grow old. We've been taught to be failures. We've been groomed into living a life of dissatisfaction. Think about it and see if I'm telling the truth or if I'm chatting a whole load of shit. Okay? So yeah. So after we do all these things, we spend our life living how our leaders of society has told us to live our lives, basically, because that's what's happening. For the majority of our lives, we live how they tell us to live our lives. We don't get to be who we want to be. And what's a life if you can't be who you want to be? What's the point? And then after that, you just die. What's the point? What kind of God creates that as the reality? But God didn't create that as the reality. The people in charge of us, they created that as the reality. And then they sold it to us as though that is the reality. And we bought it by believing it and acting upon it. It's not the reality. The gift of life is one that is eternal. But life is a school. You have to find the answers. That is what life is all about. Finding the answers, finding the solutions. That's what life is about. The solutions to have good relationships, the solutions to have a healthy body, the solutions to have lasting relationships, the solutions to have good relationships with your children, good relationship with your family members, the solutions to putting out fires in your social life, the solutions to freaking creating a whole society, actually, if you want to think from a larger scale. So yeah, that's our job. We wanna create it to live how the leaders of this society has decided for us to live, but we just fall into place because that's what we see everybody else doing, so that's what we do. We thought that that's what life is all about. So we just follow suit in it. That's why they talk about the matrix. So there's a There's a matrix and there's a divine matrix. Now, in the divine matrix, that's when you see the actual ugliness of what really exists. And that's where our solutions are needed. You see? So, only the brave, only those who can endure, only the faithful, because when you come out of the matrix and become part of the divine matrix where you can see life for what it truly is, which is usually in opposition to what we have been taught, it brings a whole host of other problems upon yourself. So like in my case, I got these people who are after me, who they put all these poisonous gases around me, and that lint look-alike that was meant to destroy me, and they damage my teeth, and they steal me from my birth mother and give me to someone else, hoping that I'll never realize who I truly am. But who you truly are, you just are. Okay? So, yeah. So, that's what God wanted to talk to you about. God says that your teachings are very much inspiring to the right people, but it will piss some people off. And the people who are inspired by your teachings, they are quite willing to protect you behind the scenes. So even if you don't see them, you don't know who's your protector, just know that they are surrounding you because they know that you need them. Because the kind of enemies that your teachings are bringing your way, you need protection. Okay, so these are people who are part of the divine matrix. They know the matrix and they see the matrix, and they listening to you know that you see the matrix and you also see the divine matrix, and they're here to support you since you're the one with the courage to speak the truth in spite of the challenges that it brings into your life. So this is like a message of thank you. Okay, those who your secret admirers, they want to tell you thank you, and we got your back, keep doing what you do. And say fuck you to those who don't like it. So on behalf of everybody who is bigging up the divine matrix, we say a big fuck you to all those who don't like it. Fuck you. Goodbye. Thank you for watching.